another time that you will have an opportunity to speak. The following Sunday, he flew me into Chicago, and I spoke at the main mosque there. Probably one of the first Native Americans to speak there. I'm not saying that I embrace Islam. I'm not saying that I embrace Christianity. I embrace the one true great spirit, the one that's responsible for all of us being here. And we have our own ways of worshiping him. Our ways as Indian people was taken away from us and forbidden. We couldn't do Sundance, we couldn't do Sweat Lodge, none of that stuff. As the white man came here and told us that our God was not valid. But in 1965, Congress saw fit to pass the Freedom of Religion Act for Native people. And that's what I do. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I talk to him. When I come out in the yard, I talk to the Great Spirit, you know. And another thing, too, when I mentioned to you about Donald Trump's disrespect for women, I had a serious problem with that. Because we as Indian people, we were taught to honor, respect, revere, and protect the woman. Because the women, before the white man came here, were always in charge of everything. And the only reason men were in charge, became those that were placed in power, was because the white man wouldn't speak to women with power. So they elected chiefs, representatives, and they happened to be men. But they were given an order that if you don't speak for the people, just like we put you there, we will take you out of office and take you out on top of that. Is it time for a woman to be president of the United States? Yes, it is. But I can't say that it's Hillary Clinton. You know, I would much rather see Michelle Obama. Okay? But I guess she says, no, I ain't dealing with that mess. I watched what it did to my husband for 8 years, you know. But, you know, if you ever notice the pattern, you always back us into a corner that we have only one viable choice to choose at election time. And here we go again, Democrats. Now, there was a crooked woman, what's her name, Debbie Wasserman?
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Yeah. You know, that's the main reason Bernie didn't get the nomination.
She is, absolutely,
you know? And what did Hillary do?
Hires her on her campaign.
That's right. You know, they fired her from the Democratic National Committee, and she hired her back. You know, so no more comments about Hillary Clinton.
Okay, no more talk about Hillary Clinton.
We aren't going to say that at least Trump was right about the crooked comment.
Okay. I know, you feel a little dirty when you have to say that Donald Trump was right about anything, don't you?
Well, he did say we want people to come here that love us. And that's the one thing that you're here on the property and you can't see now the sweat lodge over there and the fire pit here. We have people from every ethnicity that come here. And we've had some people that came in not good faith and good spirit, and they were ushered out and they're not part of the circle. We want people to come here that love us, that believe in the human family, the four colors of the world, and to just treat everything in proper spirit and in love. Now, I guess the Great Spirit couldn't help but bash Donald in the head with that one, so he happened to spit it out. Occasionally, he does accidentally hiccup and say something that's truthful, and that was one of them.
Yeah, broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Twice a day.
There's somehow it's still on Donald Trump, but there's a prophecy.
You got 2 minutes left.
I didn't do it much less than that. You mentioned the lodge, and the people come, but in our prophecies, I don't remember what tribes anymore, but in our prophecies, there's the old people spoke of a time in which the grandchildren of those who killed us would come to our sweat lodges, to our ceremonies. And my father told me that the healing that white people need is in the people that they once enslaved. The ceremonies that they need come from the Africans and from the native people. And I think it was Chief Plentypool, I might be wrong, the chief in 1932 pointed out that what was at the basis of the color and the spirit of white man was the fear that he had. Dorothy Hyatt at Coretta Scott King's funeral said that the black man needs the white man to help him with his fear, and the white man needs the black man to help him with his guilt. And these times are here. Donald Trump is out of sync with what is transpiring around the globe and in this country. Because the terror that white people have of letting Native people speak their voice, it comes from a terror that they hold at bay by things that don't really have power against the powers that our ancestors have given us. Donald Trump is outside of that. And to me, Donald Trump is the trickster. Because what he's doing is he's tricking poor white trash, all of them, to say what's really in them. My question as a man and as a father is, after he tricks you, then what are you going to do? Because you come back to the place where you have to stand and look at yourself. It's the other reason why Nightwolf show is called the most dangerous show on earth, because those are things that come out. Got all the problems, all the conflicts. Therein lies also the solutions and the path that leads to it. And for many people, it's led to our ceremony.
I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and I'm a great-grandfather. Chance against my prayer, because it's not the prayer, it's who I pray to. I've had cancer 4 times since I've been on the radio. I never used AMA, American Medical Association, none of that. I went back to my people. I went back to my heels. And I got cured. Cancer of the kidney twice, cancer of the colon, cancer of the pancreas. You know, those are the ones that are supposed to kill you. But again, like I say, you don't stand a chance against my prayers. I know how to pray, and I know how to direct them directly to the source.
I'll say this, and then I'm going to ask you a question. One of the things, it's the most dangerous show on radio for one reason, and the pearl of wisdom came, if you believe it, from Ice-T.
I believe it.
Ice-T one time said, America is the place where you're allowed to say anything as long as you don't say something. Now, that is deep, and that's what happens, because we've had to talk to the Secret Service. We've had to talk to people with those things in their ears that talk in their sleeves and everything else of what happens on that show. So as long as you don't say something, you're all right. But now my question to you is, did you get, I know there were a lot of questions you wanted to ask. Did you get them? And I know there are people online. Did you get a chance? We'd like to know what they were.
Every question that I had written down on this in my notebook was answered in this discussion, and a whole bunch of other questions that would have popped up every time I thought, okay, it's time for me to ask my next question. You would go into the thing that I was going to go into next, or you would go into the thing that I was going to say. Listen, this is why conversations about our stories, our ancestors, the truth of our evolution in this country are important, because where we go from here is in all of that. Every answer to every question. If your question is, why are we this way? Why are we having the problems we are having? The answer can be found in conversations like this about what really happened, what really transpired. And if you want to know how to fix what is wrong and where to go from here, that's where you find your answers to. So I thank so much. I cannot tell you how this has been the best. What's it been, an hour and a half?
Yeah. Someone online asked, what tribe are you guys from?
I'm a member of the Chota Cherokee Nation. My mother's people were all Cherokees in South Carolina. They were the Cherokees that refused to go on Andrew Jackson's Trail of Tears, they went up in the mountains and they fought them. My father's people, my grandfather was a Shoshone well, it's really Shoshone, but white people like to change stuff. Shoshone.
Oh, well, thank you for correcting that.
But Shoshone from New Mexico, and he also had Chalagi, that's Cherokee before the white man came. Chalagi blood. His wife, my grandmother Sylvia, was a Taino Indian from Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'm all of that. There's probably some more too, but I tell you what, right before the first gathering of the National Congress of American Indians went on, my cousin in New York called me. She says, "Are you sitting down?" Yeah. I got something to tell you. What is it? What are you going to tell me? She says, "You know what?" I said, "What?" "I guess you wonder what happened to all of Grandma's papers and stuff when she passed." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I only got one picture of her." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I found some letters in there with Grandma telling somebody in Puerto Rico that she just found out that she had a great-great-grandmother that was an enslaved African on the island of Puerto Rico."
Get out of here.
So, yeah, I'm all of that and some more. Some more.
That's where Nightwolf learned how to Jones so well.
I did not get that, Jimmy. I did not get
He
that.
didn't.
You go to school. You didn't go to school in D.C.
I
That's why.
did. I second that. I am the only
missed
black
that
person.
course. You missed
I
that
did.
course.
I missed that course. I'm the only black person I know who can't Joan and can't play cards. I can't do it.
Come here to Sweat Lies. We'll teach you.
Right.
We got another question for real quick.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Actually, there are 4 tribes. On my mother's side, the maternal line, it's the Creek, the Muskogee, and the Crow. African on both sides. The African on my father's side comes from an ancestor who stole his wife from a Virginia plantation owner and hid her somewhere, fought in the Civil War. And the diplomacy and the spiritual gifts come from my mother's side, and the warrior at that level comes from my father's side, and the other 2 native tribes there.
How about you, Ramon?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I'm a proud subscriber of one drop theory. So I grew up all my life as a light-skinned black man living in America in the struggle day to day.
Until you found out that your mama was Cherokee.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is I'm 53% Italian, first generation, Ellis Island from Naples and Sicily with my dad. And black freed slave. Still have a picture of Grandpappy Tom and Grandmama Lissy from down in your part of Virginia.
Get out of here.
Down below Warrenton and Orange.
Yeah.
They were freed slaves from there. They were also part Cherokee, and I'm part Cherokee.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Well, we have our batteries done.
Oh, our battery's done. So I guess that means we're out of time. I cannot express to you all how honored I am that you have
Will you
allowed.
come back again?
Yes,
If
we'll
you come
come
to
back
Sweat Lodge,
tomorrow.
you leave with a hangover. I'll tell you from the conversation.
I think we would like to do that too.
We are going to do that, and then that's next time. No cameras. It's just us.
Well, yeah, Sweat Lodge, you can't do cameras anyway. But you will be able to record it all in here. You will have it.
I know that's right.
The second Sunday in September.
All right.
I'm 70, but I have a 75-year-old Cherokee elder that lives in Baltimore that was trained by the great medicine man of the Lakota people, Black Elk. And he's going to come that day and be a part of the ceremony. So it would be good if he showed up.
Wow.
We thank you so much for the invitation, and we will be here. We are so honored that you allowed us into your home and into your heads.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
We really hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and thanks for watching Real Progressives. We will talk to you later. Have a great night. Good night.
Donna.